Sexual. Some people are straight, and some people are gay. Maybe I'm just sexual. 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 Something for the top, and something for the bottom. But we're all just sexual. Sexual. We're all just sexual. Sexual. Yeah. Hey, we're not in the 60s, but yet we're talking about the same things. So why are we having these same discussions? It's so interesting that you find it fascinating. Who I'm sleeping with and what I'm doing. Why do we all need these labels? Your character is all that matters to me. You shouldn't let ideology and favors make you stop loving family and friends. Some people are straight, ooh yeah. Some people are gay, ooh yeah. Maybe I'm just sexual. 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 Something for the top, and something for the bottom. But we're all just sexual. Sexual. Just sexual. Some people are straight, ooh yeah. Some people are gay, oh yeah. Baby, I'm just sexual. Baby, I'm just sexual. Sexual, ooh yeah. Something for the top, something for the top, something for the bottom, something for the bottom. But we're all just sexual. Sexual, but we're all just sexual. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Why do we all need these labels? Is he gay or straight or somewhere in between? Yeah. Don't let ideology and favors make you treat your brother or your sister differently. Yeah. Some people are straight. Some people are straight. Some people are gay. Some people are gay. Maybe I'm just sexual. Maybe I'm just sexual. Sexual. Just sexual. Something for the top. Something for the top. Something for the bottom. Something for the bottom. But we're all just sexual. Sexual. We're all just sexual. Sexual. Some people are straight. Some people are gay. Some people are gay. Some people are straight. Maybe I'm just sexual. I'm just sexual, baby. Sexual. I don't need a label. Something for the top. Something for the top. Something for the bottom. But we're all just sexual. I'm just sexual. We're all just sexual. Yeah, yeah. Sexual. 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 Some people are straight. Some people are gay. Some people are gay. Oh, sugar. Maybe I'm just sexual. Doesn't really matter. Sexual. Doesn't really matter. Something for the top, and something for the bottom. But we're all just sexual. Sexual. But we're all just sexual. Yeah.
What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? Hello, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well on this amazing Friday evening. Baby, I just feel good in my damn spirit. Okay? I just feel really good today. I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for all the trials and tribulations that happened within the past few weeks that tested my patience and tested my faith and dedication within loving myself when things start to get a little bit out of hand. okay? I just feel good, y'all. I just feel really good. I do. And the fact that I have the power to make myself feel good despite whatever may be happening, that's some powerful shit. Powerful shit. And I'm so grateful to be continuing the read through of The Cross in the Closet with you all. Hey Donna, what's going on, Queen Donna? It's Styled by Stevie. Hopefully y'all can hear me. If y'all can hear me, please let me know in the comments, because sometimes when I be doing trying to have the music playing in the background when I talk, sometimes the music can be somewhat overpowering. Miss Donna, if you could, do I sound okay? Can you hear me over the music? Or do you feel like I need to turn it down some? But I just feel good. I just feel really, 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 really good. Okay, Style by Stevie said we can hear you and the sound is good. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Y'all could be anywhere else, but y'all here vibing with me. I appreciate it. But like I said, I'm grateful for this book, The Cross in the Closet. There's a lot of stuff going on, especially since my last live I did in response to some of the ignorant viewpoints when it comes down to racism. How there are people in the world who are part of the status quo, who are part of the majority, who are going to be willing to test and try for themselves, study to show themselves approved. And Timothy Kurek, again, oh, but Donna said turn down some. Okay, good. Thank you, Donna. Thank you. Hold on. Let's do 10. How does that sound? Does that sound better? That sound better, y'all? But and thank you again. Please correct me. Please correct me on the words of Andrew Caldwell, who definitely gonna bring his goddamn slew-footed ass over here in spirit. Okay? Gonna try to ride my tongue and stuff. Girl, correct. He said correct. Not correct. Correct. There's a part of me that actually do fuck with Andrew Caldwell, because it's like, even though he is very toxic and narcissistic, the way that he shows up in the world, girl, as far as just who he is, his mannerisms, the stuff that we really do love about him, you know what I'm saying? Bitch, he gonna talk and say what he gonna say, girl, even if it's ignorant and dumb. At least he confident enough to say it. But yes, I'm excited to read again this book. Again, Timothy Kurek is the one who actually did the Christ work, and that's the hardest thing to do, y'all. It's the Christ work, especially when you live in a world where people use you and abuse you. We take shit personal, and when we read the Bible, which once again, I don't believe the Bible is the truth within itself. It's a signpost to the truth, girl. All the answers is not going to be in a book. All the real answers are inside of you. And in all of these different books and expressions of faith in God, in different ways, but still universally the same, girl. That's how you know it's God, girl. God covered everything. There's always a central character in these books who always did something radical. And then when we transcend the Bible and we look out into the world, there are so many other people who have put their lives on the line in the name of love, so that love can flourish and can literally manifest, or better yet, just come into alignment again. Because to me, the biggest issue is that we struggle with love. We struggle with love. Most importantly, self-love. That's why it's easy for us to get into what is known as addictions, because there are these false equivalencies to what we really desire. And even though we're afraid or just don't know how to get to that love part, well, I guess this will do then. Baby, love is already there, available for you. And Timothy had to walk through the valley of the shadow of motherfucking death, girl. And once again, the main reason why, in my opinion, he's afraid or he's facing these fears is because the fears are literally a reflection of his shadow self, a part of him that is not loved and accepted. The realization that in this life experience, we're not going to be 100% perfect. And that even though we're not perfect, God still loves us regardless. Unconditional love. Key word, unconditional. That means no matter the condition, there is no condition where I will not love you, where I will not uplift you. And when we delve deeper than that, girl, no shade, God is not even his name. It's literally one of the names to describe power. That's all it is. Power, energy, source, where everything comes from. We are a part of that. And there are so many people who are getting in touch with that literally are manifesting miracles in their lives. Not just in a book, but in everyday life. That could be somebody changing their mind and becoming a better person when it looks like them changing was impossible. That's a miracle. The fact that in the midst of destructive shit happening in the world, there is always people who are so overflowing in their love to clean up the mess. Everything has a purpose. But we count ourselves out of the purpose. And that's why I feel good, baby, because I'm learning how to love myself in the midst of all versions of BubzDaGawd. Excuse me. Okay? But anyway, let me shut up. Just wanted to give that in the beginning. And let's get into chapter 14. I hate when this shit happens. Hold on, y'all. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Hold on. We got to be smart. Hey, Aries. Hope all is well. Hope all is well with you. Let's do this, y'all, because y'all know I got to be smart. Again, we dot our I's and cross our T's. Okay? Okay. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay? And y'all, let's get into chapter 14, entitled Sticks and Stones May Break My Bones, but Chains and Whips Excite. Okay. Had to get the devil out, girl, before we talk about Jesus. Hallelujah. Opening day. Although my many stereotypes about gay culture have begun melting into the category of fairy tale, one has consistently rung true. Gay men love drag queens, okay? The instantaneous effect of a drag queen is both fascinating and contagious. It is a tradition of sorts and a passion for many. Drag queens are a staple in the community, and I have never been as entertained as I have been by my friends who regularly participate in drag shows. In church, I was taught that drag queens represented the worst kind of homosexual perversion, and I believed that. I believed it until I learned the role of drag in gay culture. Drag shows are, I think it's called vaudevillain, I believe vaudevillain talent exhibitions populated by uniquely beautiful people. I have even met heterosexual men who dress in drag, which goes to show that my program diversion had more to do with the shocking of seeing a man dressed in woman's clothes than understanding what drag represents. I am standing behind the backstop of the main softball field, watching the first game of the season. It is a faux game of sorts among satirically dressed drag queens, many of whom, I am told, have never dressed in drag before. Oh my god, not virgin drag, bitch, category. The weather is perfect, perhaps the nicest day of the year so far, and the park rented by the Metro Nashville Softball Association for the league games is packed. Vendors have set up tables and booths the entire length of the main field, and restaurants are selling food to the hundreds of families that have come out for opening day. Children are everywhere, and they look like they are having almost as much fun as I am, watching my friends play in their first game. I also cannot help but notice how well adjusted and pure these children are, with moms or dads following not far behind. The children's faces are painted, and many hold cotton candy and animal balloons. Were any of these children from a prior marriage, I wonder idly, or were they adopted? I mean, does it even matter? They are all so happy, and I people watch. I cannot, excuse me. As I people watch, I cannot help looking. I cannot help looking for signs of dysfunction, but everyone looks normal. Even though I wasn't sure what to expect watching them, but I didn't think I'd see family like I see right now. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe the traditional family exists in gay and lesbian households. A friend of mine from many softball practices walks to the plate, and I shout to him encouragingly. Rorik, I believe that's his name, Rorik. Rorik looks over and waves. On the first pitch, he hits a ground ball to the left field. The shortstop fumbles after the ball, and my friend makes it to second base. I feel a deep love for him. The first time we met, Rorik saved me from my own anger and also from being arrested. Girl, Rorik, we're going to have to find another name for him, girl, because Andrew Caldwell is heavy on the tongue, girl, tonight. It was months earlier, on the first day of softball practice and my introduction into a world of sports I had no idea existed. After I stretched, I was paired with an attractive young guy wearing a pink do-rag and gray stretchy pants that looked like something one might find in the girls' department at the Gap. Damn. His name was Rorik, okay? And he seemed cordial, extending a hand and asking my name before we warmed up and played catch. His voice was surprisingly deep, and I could tell by his build that he was extremely athletic. All around us, men and women warmed up. It was a sea of stretchy pants and sweatpants, as far as the eye could see. I didn't fit in. I was wearing basketball shorts and a t-shirt, and the cold weather made me wish I had dressed more appropriately. Is this your first year playing softball? Rorik asked as we tossed the ball back and forth. Yes, sir. I was recruited by a guy at Tribe. I tossed the ball back as nonchalantly as possible. Oh, well, that's Rick. He must have liked you. He always seems to approach the guys he thinks are cute. Rorik threw the ball back to me, and it stung my hand through the glove. He smiled. Ouch. It's called warming up for a reason. You'll live, he yelled back. I looked down the hill adjacent and saw a man walking two small pugs. He was older, wore slacks and a gray vinyl jacket, and looked as though he hadn't shaved in a month. He glanced at the field, surveyed its inhabitants, and his gaze stopped on me. Our eyes met, and he sneered. Faggots, he said, just loud enough for me to hear. My world froze. Something deep inside me that I had not known existed boiled to the surface. Excuse me? I said, shocked. The word hit my ears and I lost myself. I had never been called faggot by someone attempting to hurt me, and I did not know how to respond. 1 second, I was tossing a softball with Rorik, and the next, I was contemplating violence. I felt a new kind of anger, an anger wrought by immediate feelings of violation. The man's prejudice weaseled its way into my head and heart like a parasite, and heat flushed throughout my body. The heat numbed my judgment, and my instincts told me to fight. He had challenged me, that little man walking his equally little dogs, that little brain with its gigantic prejudice. I wanted to beat him unconscious with the softball glove that was on my left hand. I looked down. The softball glove was on the ground, and I was already moving down the embankment. Oh, shit. I felt myself take those first steps towards the careless stranger who used a derogatory term to identify me, to identify all of us. My steps were deliberate and fueled by a white-hot hatred that gave me tunnel vision. And all because of a single word. Hey, Queen Spicy, hey. Before I could take another step, I felt a surprisingly powerful arm holding me back. It was Kurek. I turned my head, met his eyes, and saw a look of severe empathy. He looked heartbroken. He rubbed my back and forced me to breathe. I felt conflicted. On the one hand, I was intrigued by Kurek's empathy, and on the other, I felt a deep sense of loss. A loss of innocence and self-esteem. One word. It only took one word to disrupt my equilibrium. The shock of hearing that word directed at me was worse than jumping into a frozen lake. It knocked the breath right out of me. Worse, it knocked the patience and grace out of me too. I had been wounded and wanted to react out of that woundedness. But Kurek, he wouldn't let me. He restrained me with his strength and also with his empathy. What you say, not him turning into Queen Latifah? Okay, you and IT, who you calling her? Good thing, because girl, I would have been like, whoop his ass, girl. Yeah, fuck him up. That'd have been, let me stop. You just came out the closet, didn't you? Kurek's question was rhetorical, but I nodded my head yes. January, I said meekly. Hun, you have to get used to that kind of thing, he said. Because it sure as hell won't be the last time someone calls you a fag. I saw a tear in the corner of his eye. It moved slowly down the arc of his jawline, and he wiped it away quickly. He was speaking from experience. He spoke with one hand on my back, while his other hand restrained my movement. Kurek had ushered me forward into a new reality that I had never known. Had not never that I had never known. It was a cruel reality. A reality where a single word could inflict untold damage without so much as a warning. I felt damaged. But that's not cool. My words probably sounded like a child's reaction to the injustices of life for the first time, and I was that child. It was amazing that one word could elicit such a wide range of emotions. I felt nauseated. I felt humiliated. Practice had not even officially begun, and I already wanted to leave. I wanted to hide in my bedroom and scream into my pillow. Just breathe, Kurek said. He released me from his hold. Besides, we're the ones playing sports up here, and he's walking two pugs. Okay, if anyone's a faggot, it's him. Okay, bitch? The dog walker, okay, kept moving, but turned his head and frowned at Kurek's words. Yep, that's right, bitch. You ain't gotta whoop a nigga ass, girl, but you can't whoop their ass with words, girl. That's what Jesus did. They had to kill his ass, girl. Jesus was talking all type of shit. Bill was like, nah, we had to kill him. That was the first time since coming out that I heard that word and understood what it actually meant. It means that you are a lesser, a second-class citizen, and girl, what is this? Anathema? A-N-A-T-H-E-M-A. Girl, we gonna find out what this word is. Hold on, because we correct ourselves. Yeah, copy this word. Okay, Miss Google, I need you to help me to pronounce this word. pronounce. Hold on, y'all. Cause girl, we walking in freedom, bitch. Even if we stuttering in this hole, even if we don't know how to pronounce some words in this hole, girl, we gonna learn today. Say it, girl. Say it slow for me. Anathema. Okay, anathema. Thank you. Come on now. It means that you are a lesser, a second-class citizen, and a anathema. Oh, girl. Oh, we learning new words in this bitch. An anathema. It means that your world is relegated to a single word, and the details. And the details of that life doesn't matter. It means that your thoughts, experiences, loves, and struggles should be painted over because you aren't an equal, that yours isn't as valuable as other lives. It meant you are hated. Your Andrew Caldwell, back your ass up, bitch. Damn. It meant you are hated. Even though I am not actually gay, I felt that hate. And it still disrupted something sacred in me. Faggot denotes rejection and epitomizes unwelcome, and it was a vile epiphany that I came to. Without knowing anything about us, the man walking the pugs told all of us that we are not worthy to be in community with him. Wow. Minutes passed before the adrenaline subsided, and as I came back to my senses, I realized that Kurek had done me a huge favor. He brought me back into control of myself and saved me from making a terrible mistake. The man walking his dogs should send Kurek a bottle of wine, okay? And thank God that someone cared enough to stop me. Because, bitch, I would have been like, whoop his ass, girl. That's my dog. That's my dog. I made it through practice and back to my car before I had an emotional breakdown. While I rested my face against the steering wheel, I couldn't help but cry. I wonder who taught that man that behaving that way was okay. I wondered if he had hurt anyone else with his words. I wonder who had hurt him with theirs. Girl, KashApp, girl, that's what it says. KashApp. That's what it said. I guess it's his name, girl. KashApp once said, "Once you label me, you negate me. Once you label me, you negate me." And that, I believe, is why words can hurt us so powerfully. I think that was why I reacted so emotionally to the man calling me faggot. I hope I will never use words like that again, that I will never negate anyone with my words or attitude, no matter how much I disagree with them. I am learning that words I always thought were harmless really do have power. I mean, they really can hurt people. I have used words flippantly without much consideration of how they would be accepted. My aunt Michelle from Kansas City once tried to get me to go see the Broadway production of Rent with my cousins. I told her I did not want to go spend 3 hours watching a bunch of fags getting what they deserved. Damn. One of the first movies I watched after coming out of the closet was Rent, and I felt immensely ashamed. The line, "Will I lose my dignity? Will someone care?" pushed me over the emotional ledge. How many times have I used my words to take away another person's dignity? How many times have I shown just how little I care, all the while claiming to serve the God of caring? Can I read that again, bitch? How many times? How many times have you broken my heart how many times have I shown just how little I care, all while serving and claiming to serve the God of caring? Wow, that was a doozy. When I was a kid, I taught myself how to play the harmonica. It was a long process, and I still owe my parents an apology okay, for the immense racket. But the funniest thing happened as I learned. I started hearing the harmonica everywhere. I heard it in TV commercials and songs that I had heard 1,000 times on the radio, but never realized included the tiny instrument. And I heard it walking down the street as a homeless man in my neighborhood played the blues. Once I began playing the harmonica, my ears opened up and I became aware of the harmonica in a way I had not before. I think the same thing has happened this year. I never used to flinch when derogatory terms were used by friends or when I spoke them. It all melted into the background of everyday speech and conversation. After coming out, especially after having the dog walking man call me faggot, I tuned in, okay? And I cringe as words are thrown around like careless projectiles. Our words, once spoken, live. They live and float around our lives like the stars above us on a clear night, watching us. They are makers of who we are and have been, indicators of our character or lack thereof. My night sky is filled with these living curses. I watched the opening softball game, spitting sunflower seeds from the bleachers. Rorik's hit is good, and with 2 more batters, he reaches home plate with ease and walks over to me. He wraps his arms around me, he wraps his arms around me, tells me he loves me, and asks me how I've been. He actually gives a damn. I feel indebted to him. But despite the festive atmosphere of opening day, I feel an emptiness and nagging questions from my past. What if the people I went to church with actually gave a damn about me? What if I had given a damn about them? If we really cared about each other, would the church have a reputation for pious ruthlessness? If the religious could learn to love even the people who do not agree with them? If I had believed that the people I went to church with actually cared, I might not have chosen to walk the path I'm on today. Rorik wishes me good luck on my first 2 games and heads back to the dugout. Rorik is proof, okay, that it really is that simple to love another person. My performance on the opening day of softball is humiliating. I have never felt more feeble as an athlete or more inept at a sport. My team loses both games, but at least I have fun doing so, and that is what it's all about, I think. I get to lounge in the sun and talk to a couple that had just adopted their first child. I hold a little baby in my arms, and I see the look of infinite love on her mom's faces. I get to enjoy community again on a Sunday, and it is a new and fresh experience. Joining the softball league is one of the better choices I have made this year. It presents an opportunity to see a more normal life for the gays and lesbians of the community, a life apart from the atmosphere of the gayborhood. I am excited to become even more a part of my community. And ladies and gentlemen, that is chapter 14, okay? Take me out to the ball, take me out to the ball game. Chapter 14, Sticks and Stones. Now that's crazy. Once again, Tim is walking in the midst of this. He is walking once again in the thick of it, into the thick of it. A lot of places where you're gonna have to really employ love. Like a lot of people be saying they know love and serve love and got love and it look good on paper, girl, but when it's time to get in the field, girl, there be no representation. There be not even for themselves to be able to get themselves through it, girl. So, but Tim walking in it, and he's walking in it so much that he's getting to see another side of these people. The side that, according to him and even my own personal opinion and the facts out there in the world, girl, that religion has taught people not to see in these people. Because Leviticus said this, they the reason why Sodom and Gomorrah is destroyed. They're the reason why all this stuff is happening. So why should we love on them and care for them? Here it is, Timothy is challenging that mindset, seeing for himself, seeing his own biases, his own ignorance, and addressing that again, employing self-love. And a part of self-love is accountability. Everything, when you say self-love, girl, you're being all things of self, including checking yourself before you, and even if you check yourself, girl, and you still wreck yourself, you still got to deal with being wrecked. No shade. So he's getting to see the human side, the side of him, the side that makes us human, girl. That's what it really is, to remove these labels that denounce us, denotes us, creates all these fearful ideologies around it. And he's seeing hundreds of people come. He's seeing children, because you know they love to say, you gotta protect the kids, girl. The kids is having fun, girl. The kids enjoying themselves, girl. Ain't nothing happening to the kids except getting their face painted and they eating popcorn and watching a bunch of men in wigs, girl. Cause the drags understand that they men in wigs, girl. Even straight men, like, girl, I like to put on a wig every now and then. Did we not remember in the last few episodes, last few chapters, girl, when Tim was in New York with an old girl he used to talk to, bitch, and she was in a relationship with this heterosexual man, girl, that was smoking everybody in them heels. Talking about, yes, bitch, I know I wear a size 14 and smoke y'all. So he's seeing the human side, and here it is, this older gentleman comes by with his two little dogs. That little dick energy, girl, coming around. And he looks upon the field, and through his ignorance and bias said the word faggot. And baby, Tim did something that he felt something he ain't felt in a long time, girl. And at this point, he was trying to fight the negative shit. He was trying to fight the anger stuff, girl. When he went to the club and the gay man touched on his ass the first time, girl, he wanted to fight, but he challenged that girl. This time, it was a different type of anger. He was like, this anger different. This is a different side of anger, girl, and it feels good. Yeah, it felt good to him. He was about to go to jail, girl, for beating the elderly, girl. Ain't that against the law? And what the hell them little pugs gonna do? He could have punted them damn pugs. Okay, sent them to medicine house or something. Sucky yucky yak sucky sue. But in the midst of that, here come Kurek, who is a gay man. I gotta believe he black. I gotta believe Kurek black. He said do-rag. Ain't no... Unless he Vanilla Ice or something. Or Malibu's Most Wanted, girl. And I don't think that's happening, girl. Okay? But he was an athletic guy. Y'all could've motherfucking did the Dudley Boys what they call 3D move on his ass, girl. They finishing move, tag team finishing move through the table. Oh my God, through the table on him. But Kurek stopped him and said, look, baby, you gonna have to realize. He was like, first of all, you just came out. You fresh in the scene, ain't you? You fresh in the scene. Or according to the religious people, you fresh in the scene, huh? You just fresh in the scene, girl. But you fresh in the scene, okay. Well, you gonna have to get used to that. And no tea, no shade, but just facts. The only time you start whooping somebody's ass, girl, is when they start to put their hands on you. Then you have every right to whoop that ass. Now, you can hurl some insults back. He's like, because once again, according to societal standards, girl, the gays shouldn't be doing nothing with baseballs. If anything, we should be putting up our asses and shit. According to them, but meanwhile, we over here playing baseball, hitting home runs and stuff. Meanwhile, he doing the gay shit with two pugs, girl. You ain't walking around with no Rottweilers, pit bulls, some cane corsos or something. You got two little pugs. What the hell they gonna do? Little mush-faced ass dogs. And even though Tim, had to deal with that, because it was like, it's not right, it's not fair. But then he had to challenge himself and say, wait a minute, damn. Now I gotta think about the times I done said shit. And he brought up the whole example with Rent, girl. And I think I'm gonna watch Rent, because I never watched Rent. I've watched Angels in America, but I've never watched Rent. And how he said, I don't want to see these motherfuckers do this gay ass shit, girl. I don't want them to put that gay spirit shit on me, girl. You know, because just them breathing, girl, and they got HIV and AIDS, it's just going to float in the air, girl, like Carisha 2020, girl. And then being educated, he watched Rent and literally had a nervous breakdown, girl, because it's like, damn, just look at how fucked up I am. Damn. And that be the issue. It be like, we have people who claim that they walk in truth, girl, and they walk in light, and they walk in love. But when the opportunity comes for them to actually display that, there is an intense and immense struggle to where now people can be smart and say, I don't have to love you. Look what Leviticus said. I don't have to love you. Look what Matthew said. I don't have to do any of these things. Look at what the scripture says. Look at what the institution has said for hundreds of years. Look at how it's been viewed. Okay? But at the same time, forget what Jesus said. And isn't that the most important? Is what Christ said through the expression of Jesus on this earth. But when it comes time to do that, once again, we struggle in that because we don't even know it for ourselves. We're not even willing to really walk in love, even though it's scary and I don't understand what's happening right now. And so what? To still move forward with fear and trembling, to still move forward. So it was a lot of self-reflecting that Timothy had to do. Because he was like, Lord, they about to ban my ass from this neighborhood, girl, because I done whooped this old man ass like this. I done controlled, alt, and deleted this man. I done sit here and gave this nigga a whole factory reset. And I hope it don't have to get to that point. Because once again, these oppressed groups of people explain where they have done violence in the way that society says they've done. To them. Can't nobody produce no sort of information or fact to support what they believe, girl. But here it is, you have LGBT plus people who are literally speaking their experiences backed up with fact every day, and it still be disregarded. But I mean, you have people who believe of a man in the sky who gets to decide who gets blessed and who's not. So at this damn point, if y'all can believe that, but y'all can't believe gays, okay, girl. Very interesting. Tell me, how can I love Jesus when I've never seen his face? Yeah. Okay, let me stop. All right, y'all, we're gonna take a quick little water break, because you know when you smoke weed, girl, your mouth get dry, girl, and that's when Andrew Caldwell want to come through. And I'm tired of it. He rolled my tongue a little too hard on chapter 14. I feel like I have to redeem myself in chapter 15. Okay, so we're gonna be right back. Give us 1 second. Enjoy our residential theme song, girl, Sexual by B. Slade.
Sexual. Some people are straight, and some people are gay. Maybe I'm just sexual. Sexual. Some prefer the top, and some prefer the bottom. But we're all just sexual. We're all just sexual. Yeah. Hey, we're not in the 60s, but yet we're talking about the same things. So why are we having these same discussions? It's so interesting that you find it fascinating. Who I'm sleeping with and what I'm doing. Why do we all need these labels? Your character is all that sexual. Something from the top, something from the bottom. Look, we're all just sexual. We're all just sexual. Some people are straight. Oh yeah. Some people are gay. Oh yeah. Baby, I'm just sexual. Baby, I'm just sexual. Sexual. Oh yeah. Something from the top. Something from the top. Something from the bottom. Something from the bottom. We're all just sexual. Sexual. We're all just sexual. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Why do we all need these labels? Is he gay or straight or somewhere in between? Yeah. Don't let ideology and fables make you treat your brother or your sister differently. Yeah. Some people are straight. Some people are straight. Some people are gay. Some people are gay. Baby, I'm just sexual. Baby, I'm just sexual. Sexual. Just sexual. Something for the top. Something for the top. Something for the bottom. Something for the bottom. We're all just sexual.
All right, y'all. All right. Okay, that was Sexual by B Slade. Make sure y'all go ahead and check out B Slade. B Slade is an amazing. Oh my God. And I'm gonna just share this real quick. One thing that I've said to myself that I'm going to do for this year, is I'm going to learn to love myself in reference to manifesting my singing voice. And I'm gonna share a quick story with y'all. When I was younger, I mean, I'm like a lot of black families. I was raised in a family of people who sing. My mother and father, they were pretty good singers. They wasn't singing in bands. Well, when they was younger, they was. You know, back in the day, everybody was singing in bands. But you know, being in church, having to learn how to sing and be on key and sing in harmony and stuff. I was always doing solos in the children's choir whenever our church went to go visit another church. They always wanted me to be the representative of the church girl. And I used to sing this one song. How it go? I mean, I ain't gonna. I'm trying to think the name of the song. I forgot how it go. Damn, I gotta remember how it go for real. But I'm sorry. But I would sing a particular song all the time, girl. And I remember I was having so much shit happening. Like I was going to different churches with my pastor at that time and all this stuff, to where I was like, you know what? I don't even want to sing no more. God, I'm just tired of just singing. I'm tired of singing. I'm just tired of it. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, I was flamboyant, so motherfuckers was making fun of me. So I'm like, I'm just tired. I don't want to sing no more. And I remember there was this one youth Sunday, and I sing this one song again. I sing all the damn time to tear the church up. And I opened my mouth, girl, and noise just came out. I was singing in the key of motherfucking S for shit, girl, okay? It was horrible, to where I really struggled with my singing voice. And I didn't really have much confidence in my voice, to where I would like to just sing background. Like when I used to go to church and I used to sing in the praise team, I used to love doing that because I wasn't in the forefront. I didn't have to really showcase my talent that I noticed in me, but I was just so afraid. I was in my head, am I going to mess up? Am I, just in fear. So this year, what I'm going to do is I'm going to purchase me a new keyboard. And I really like playing the piano, but I want to teach myself how to play. And that's going to help me so much immensely with my singing and with harmony. And what really inspired that was there's this YouTube channel called the Black Music Archive. Shout out to them. And for the longest time, I wanted to understand harmony, because once again, I'm still trying to strengthen my voice. I have a very soft voice, as y'all can hear, kind of raspy and stuff. But I know there's power there. I just have to tap into that. But right now, very soft voice, and I want to focus on harmony, because at least with harmony, you can still be creative. So I never could find a YouTube video that really explained harmony or just made me intrigued, like, or had something click until I watched this one particular episode on the Black Music Archive called Harmonic Singing. And they used the group from Detroit, which is amazing because I'm from Detroit, called the Jones Girls. And they had tight harmony. Not open harmony, but tight harmony or closed harmony. And oh my God, it was amazing the way it was and how they broke it down. And it really, clicked in my head like, okay, I think I can understand this. And they were saying how in order to really master harmony, you have to know your scales. You have to know your scales. You have to know the foundation. Before you can build and get to where you want to be, there has to be a strong foundation underneath you. And now that I smoke weed and I'm more mentally sound and stable now, especially with loving myself, it's like I'm going to teach myself how to play and really manifest my voice. You said, was I transitioning through puberty? I think I was at that time too. I think I was. And I never really had anybody in the church that taught me how to sing, like sit down with me and teach me about my voice. So I know I probably have to do vocal training, which I have no problem doing that. But I also want to teach myself. Like, it's a lot of people that taught themselves. Like, I believe that you can look, I only have one life to live. And people might call me crazy. The fact that I'm going to love myself, people gonna think it's crazy, and that's fine, girl. While they busy thinking I'm crazy, I'm gonna be busy living the life that I desire. So I want to learn harmony. I want to learn how to have perfect pitch. I believe that's possible. I don't believe it's something you're just born with. We're all born with energy. I think it's about how you manipulate and transmute that energy, and I know I have it in me. You know what I'm saying? And if it ain't perfect pitch, it's gonna be damn near close, girl. I'll be able to catch myself. Hold on, bitch. Well, this is the key. Okay, bitch, let me get back on. Okay? If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again, girl. And I'm gonna get to the point to where it's like, girl, don't ask me to sing happy birthday, girl, because it will no longer be your birthday, girl. I'm gonna give God praise every time I sing. They're gonna be like, Bubs, you doing too much, girl. Well, you just don't know what the fuck I've been through, bitch. Maybe you still learning, girl, but I'm singing free, bitch. Okay, I'm just saying. And yes, Spicy, the Clark. That's so funny. I love the Clark sisters. Even though I don't fuck with organized religion, I still love gospel music because that sound and frequency and vibration, and that is from God. You know, and I'm gonna tell it to you like this: a song that really resonates with me so much, that I love, that brings tears to my eyes, that one day I know I'm going to manifest singing, and I would like to go sing this at Pride, like just areas where people think love is not at. Like, yeah, it is. And it's a song by Leandria Johnson. She is, oh my God, I love Leandria's voice. One day I just want to be able to smoke with weed with this bitch and be like, girl, let's just sing, girl. Let's just smoke, girl. Let's hit this blunt real quick, girl. And let's just do runs and just at the piano, girl. That's the type of nigga I am, girl. Can we smoke and sing? And talk about love, bitch. And I don't give a fuck who you is, girl. Leandria, if you want a little sip, girl, I ain't gonna judge you, bitch. I ain't gonna judge you, bitch. You wanna be a little bit sloshed in this motherfucker, girl? I ain't gonna judge you, bitch. You have control, girl. It don't have control over you. Make that money. Don't let it make you. Okay? Just like I don't need weed, girl. I don't need it, but I want it, bitch. Okay? I'm gonna get what I want. Because the universe already told me I got everything I need. Alright? But the name of the song is called Deliver Me. And I don't really like the album version. I like when she sings it live. And there's one particular one that I love to where, baby, and before I started taking this shit serious and really going into my nomad phase, girl, the way she sung that song, it just brought tears to my eyes, because I'm like, what? There are people that are in the LGBT community that want to feel that same loving energy. And if I can be used as a vessel for love, and to be able to spread that love, let me be available for that. And music is universal. Music is a universal language to where, girl, it don't matter how many barriers you put up, how many labels you got going on, girl, your title, your money, all that shit, girl. Trust me. It be stripper hoes, girl, that you think don't be listening to gospel, girl, that when they going through some shit, girl, they putting it on, and the people be like, yeah, when you going through some shit, girl, now you want to talk about God, girl. Well, God said he'll never leave me nor forsake me, girl, so when I do go through some shit, I'm so grateful he unconditionally loves me, girl. And guess what? I learned it through this song and not in the church. No shade. And we gonna get back to the thing, girl, but we just talking right now. It's my shit, okay? No shade. We doing it differently in 2023, girl. I'm walking in total confidence. Amen. But I used to watch the Sheared show on BET when they had I don't know if it was 2 seasons, but I think it was just a particular season of that show. And Kiara Sheard was scheduled to perform gospel at a nightclub, and she was getting nervous because, oh my God, what if the people at the church be saying this shit or whatever? If anything, it'd be people at the church that'd be scared as hell to see your ass there at the club, because it's like, oh shit, the pastor motherfucker. But see how they gonna flip that shit? You talking about me? You was there too, but I was there singing about Jesus, girl. You was sitting there drunk about Jesus, girl. So what? But it's like, I look at it like this. I feel like individuals who really about Christ and really about love, girl, instead of doing these concerts and churches and stuff, places where God's people are gonna be, girl, why not go to these clubs and perform in these clubs, girl? And we know it's possible, girl. How many times have people went to go see Fantasia, girl, and Fantasia start off with Jesus, and then go talking about how good the sex is, so good that, girl, she making collard greens and cornbread, because God is in all things. How is it that people can go to a Patti LaBelle concert, girl, and sing all these quote-unquote worldly songs, girl, but as soon as she open her mouth up about Jesus, girl, you over there praise breaking in your tight-ass sheen dress that's about to rip on the side, because it wasn't meant for all that type of activity, bitch. And what they won't do, I'm making myself available to do. There have been times when I went to the Woodward, which is known as the most ratchet black gay club, girl. I went there and I'm still alive, girl. I ain't shot, I ain't dead, I ain't stabbed up, girl. Because I walk with loving energy, girl. And there were times where drag queens would perform gospel songs, girl, and tear the club up, and then go right back to some ratchet ass twerking on the wall, bitch. And even with the Clark sisters, girl, they was in trouble, girl, because their music started to sound like worldly music. Even to the point to where Maddie Moss Clark was trying to, I think she went on a performance with them on live television, girl, to where the church had to almost sit her ass down. Because why you up there with that goddamn, I'm about to say lingerie, girl, goddamn boa shit on your shimmying and shit with your daughters on the devil's television? Girl, now that the Clark sisters is over here cashing Beyonce checks and Jay-Z checks, girl, and still preaching. Girl, where is the love, okay, in my Donny Hathaway voice? Okay? Yes, Leandria, girl, every time Leandria sing, and I love people who are vocal acrobats. It shows how creative people can be. And I'm going to tap in that energy. Because I low-key slick be doing some runs now. They may not always be clean, girl. But at least they land. Now, we might have a little turbulence in the middle somewhere. It'd be like, oh, okay, girl, there's a note that ain't supposed to be there. But that's all right, girl. Because once I learn this harmony shit, I'm going to start placing some notes that sound off-key, girl, but they're actually within the scale of the chord, girl. Again, the Jones girls, they was doing some fourth harmony and fifth harmony type shit, girl. Once again, the Jones girl made the songs called Nights Over Egypt, girl, which scientists have said factually that song is labeled the perfect song. And Children of the Night by the Jones girls, and I Just Love That Man, is one of my 2 favorite songs right now. And I'm just crazy enough to believe it for myself. I mean, Christ came and did some crazy radical stuff. Y'all think that energy is gone? If you actually read the Bible, girl, Jesus through the energy of Christ and love, said, what I'm doing, y'all can do too. And matter of fact, y'all gonna go forth and do far greater works than I. It's in the book. Did we skip that part? Christ just said, let me be your foundation. And again, I'm just crazy enough to believe it, girl. I only got one life to live, bitch. I'm gonna die one day, girl. That's guaranteed. But everything that happens in between time, in the meantime, girl, I get to have control over. Now let's get to chapter 15. I need a sip of water real quick. Hold on. 1 second, y'all. Yepers, yep. That's true. And to be honest, a lot of gospel artists, to keep that money coming in, they will go ahead and do dance, what's called house music. And you know the gays love house music. Okay? I'm just saying. You better pay if you want to be somebody. Chapter 15, my first prom. Outside the cafe, on the window of the small community center next door, I see a banner. It advertises a prom, but how could an entire prom be held in such a small facility? I read the fine print of the announcement. An all-inclusive prom. I have never been to a prom, and I wonder how similar a gay prom and a straight prom are. Now, my ultra-conservative Christian high school was strict, and the administration had never allowed proms because they were too worldly and because dancing led to lust, and lust led to teen sex. Girl. They opted instead to throw us a junior-senior banquet where we had to dress formally just to eat dinner. I felt jealous of every kid in public school that night. On the Friday of the all-inclusive prom, I see kids arriving next door as I smoke outside of the cafe deck. On the cafe deck, excuse me. They are not the type of kids I ever hung out with. Some of the guys are extremely delicate and feminine and look weary. I wonder if their weariness is the result of merciless abuse and bullying at the school. The girls, well, they look like younger versions of the women I have met this year. Many of them many with short cropped hair and piercings. But one fact becomes immediately apparent. All of them look thankful to have their own prom, a night where they can be themselves and celebrate the end of the school year among friends. I walk out of the coffee shop and over the community center with a tub of clean dishes and utensils for the party, and I am greeted by a couch full of bright-eyed teens. Their life is refreshing, and their exuberant smiles and energy are infectious. I feel protective of them, like a big brother or chaperone, but I also feel a pang of helplessness and guilt. I would have bullied these very same teens if I had gone to high school with them. Having fun? Hell yeah, several voices speak in unison. They seem so innocent. Having been taught being gay is such an abominable choice, I would have expected innocence to be my last impression, even from kids. But they are innocent. They are young and unique, pure somehow, not at all jaded the way I would have assumed. They are the way I have wished my classmates could have been in my Christian high school. So themselves, so confident in who they are as people. Anybody want a latte? I ask. It's on the house. 3 of the kids jump up as soon as they hear the word latte. It is the same reaction I imagine I would get if I took a 6-pack, into Alcoholics Anonymous. If I took a 6-pack into an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, girl, and I smiled at their energy. All 3 follow me back to the cafe, and while I make the drinks, the kids tell me about themselves. They all have similar stories, All came out at 13 or 14, and all face tremendous fallout with family and friends, but are happy to live what they feel is a much more normal existence. I am beginning to understand the normal thing. The closet is suffocating. Being in the closet is a constant source of negativity and mental oppression. It can be worse even than the rejection and abuse that comes with being out of the closet. At least, I feel that way. I think about my friends. Most are still not talking to me, just because they believe I am gay. I look into the eyes of these teenagers and know we share a bond. It is a bond formed by the pain of abandonment, and I know that what these young people have experienced is probably 1,000 times as intense as anything I have or will during my short journey. The last latte I make is for a young guy named Matt. He is thin and a bit lanky, but seems solid. He has the build of a swimmer, and his tuxedo print t-shirt, I'm sorry, the way I got this shit blowed up, and his tuxedo print t-shirt tells me what kind of guy he is. He is the kind of kid who tries not to take life too seriously, and whether it is a defense mechanism or he is just being himself, there is something special about this kid. Matt stays after the others leave, and we talk. I am impressed by his eloquence. He is so intelligent that I have a hard time keeping up with him. More often than not, I stand and nod my head, hoping he does not see how lost I am as we talk. Matt's passion is philosophy. I just want to make all of this bullshit make sense. He takes a sip of his drink and smiles. Oh, this is really good. I'm glad you like it, I say, while I wipe down the counter and clean up the coffee grounds from the counter. So, why philosophy? I guess I study philosophy because I need it. Philosophy has taught me how to forgive, and I have a lot in my life I need to forgive, he says. I don't want to be one of those people that can't enjoy life because I'm so bitter, you know? I do, actually. I'm pretty bitter, but not as much as others, I guess. So what's your story? I ask, steaming the milk for another latte I promised to take to another one of the teens. Girl, I sound like William Shatner when I read. That's all right. I'll give you the abridged version, he says confidently. I came out to my family when I was in the 8th grade, and they didn't take it so well. He looks down, reliving the moment, I think. What happened? Well, right now I'm living at my best friend's house. Her family took me in after I was kicked out. Are you kidding me? The words kicked out sting my heart. This kid has been through a hell that I can never understand. No, why would I joke about that? I meant that rhetorically. He looks at me and I see a child inside of him. The being that is not supposed to face this kind of pain so soon. He is the victim of the kind of life that no kid should ever know about. It is the position that insists he isn't good enough or worthy of love and support. The innocence of a child typically includes a much smaller reality, a sheltered reality. But Matt hasn't ever been sheltered. This is a tangible reality that a large percentage of LGBTQ plus youth in this country understand, but not me. I will never understand. I mean, I still get to see them at church on Sundays, but they don't know how to treat me. My mom hasn't looked me in the eyes for several years. That's a tough thing, hon. I honestly can't imagine. I am dumbfounded. I cannot imagine having to seek refuge with a family that is not my own. The milk for the last latte is ready. I can tell because the steam hisses through the thickened white, silky 2%. I gently settled the milk by tapping the frothing pitcher on the counter, and I cleaned the steaming nozzle with a wet rag before pouring the espresso shots into the white paper cup. Matt looks on interestedly. La 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 la. Yeah, it sucks pretty bad, but I'll be okay, he says, looking curiously at the merman sitting on the couch. So you still go to church? I ask. I love church. I sing in the choir, and no one there really treats me differently. They stopped bringing everything up after they saw that I wasn't going anywhere. It makes me happy to know that he is not making the church an enemy because of his family. But it is sad because I know what is probably being said about him behind his back. They have not accepted Matt as a young gay man. No one in his church probably thinks they are or could hurt him. His family doesn't either. No one is the villain of his own narrative, and no one understands the role he plays in the narrative of others. Matt's family probably thinks they are taking a stand for him. I doubt they understand that they are creating a barrier of hurt and pain between them that might never be overcome. So, what do you miss most about your family? I ask. I miss the hugs. I miss feeling my mom and dad hugging me. Matt looks down at the latte he is supposed to deliver to his friend. He sees the heart I drew with the steamed milk, and his face lights up. A lot of my gay friends still go to church. They talk about wanting to have a relationship with Jesus, and they never fail to mention how important their faith is in their lives. It is always eye-opening when I hear the stories, but in this case, from a junior in high school, I am beyond surprised. Matt picks up his latte and thanks me. You should stop by the prom later, and if you can, you should bring the merman. He'd be perfect there. Marco is pretty heavy, but I'll make an appearance. Thanks, Tim. Before he walks out of the door, I give him a big hug and hold him tight. Matt, I know you may doubt this, but your parents do love you. They are captive to a belief that says they can't be in a relationship with you. And it's hard to overcome that teaching sometimes. But never for a second doubt that they love you. Thank you. I'll try to remember. As he walks out of the cafe, I walk over to the couch and collapse. Marco's body feels heavy next to me. His outfit stretching the exposed skin of my arms and neck, But I don't care. How a parent could ever disown her child to such a degree scares me. It is a crime. I feel angry and sad at the same time. I think Matt goes to church because he wants to see his family. And I think he likes singing in the choir so he can see them without looking as though he is staring. That is what I would do if I were him. A few hours later, I take my break and walk next door to the prom. Some of the kids from earlier pulled me out on the dance floor and we laughed the whole time, trying to top one embarrassing maneuver with another. It may be odd for me as an ex-homophobe or recovering Pharisees, but it is a highlight of my year. Matt makes his way towards me through the crowd. Having fun? He asks. I've never been to a prom before. Well, you're at one now. He's right. This is my first prom, and it is a gay prom with gay pirates as the theme. I feel a hole in my upbringing being filled, and it is a moment I will never forget. Even though this is so radically different than what I am used to, it is normal, and I feel normal. I wonder what the world would be like if we taught our kids and each other that we should never be afraid of someone just because they are different. I wonder what would happen if we taught our kids more about the similarities in people than hyperfixating on the differences. In that perfect world, Matt would not be living with his friend's family. His parents would know that he is still the baby whose diaper they changed, the same little kid they took trick-or-treating. At what point did Matt stop being their little boy? All I know is that I would be proud to have Matt as a son. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of chapter 15. Okay, this is getting out of hand. My first prom. And once again, Timothy brings us yet another factual experience. Excuse me. Through this young man's experience, especially with him being a junior in high school. We've heard this narrative a lot from the beginning all the way up till now about, oh, the children, protect the children, love the children. We have to care for the children. But what about also the gay children as well? Because look what happens to the gay child. Even though he's not a child, he's still a child to his mom, because moms, gonna always be their baby. Here it is, he came out in 8th grade, junior high school, walking in his truth, to where the family was again so captive to this viewpoint, this ideal, this perception, to where they're willing to literally banish their children from their lives to strengthen their relationship with God so that they can get to heaven, or that this will prove that I'm not with it and that I want a check plus on my I'm going to heaven card, to where they outcasted their own child. And there are so many children right now, like if you do your research in reference to LGBT plus homeless rates and self-deletion rates, they're on the rise, because here it is, this one group that you've spent the majority of your life with is disowning you off of an idea, not giving you the chance to live your life and to see whether it's different or not, or even to go through the fear, but to simply just get rid of you. Because if we get rid of you, we don't have to deal with the enemy's persuasion. Because instead of us loving, which is what Christ asks us to do, we're all about image. We have to give the illusion that we know. And in order to keep up that illusion, we have to remove you from that. And here it is, Timothy is having a conversation with Matt, hearing Matt's story. How Matt is such a young, intelligent individual who has couth and vernacular, to where Tim, like me, hold on, how you pronounce this? How you say this? What this mean? Define this. Hey Siri, what you say? The whole 9 yards. But because of the label of him being gay, how everything is stripped from him. A word, going back to the previous chapter, them using the F word, how that simple word elicited such a response within Tim. Not just anger, but also fear. Because for a lot of LGBT people, that was the last thing they heard before they endured a horrible hate crime. That religion has justified to be okay. That's all right. That's what God wanted for these people. This is their wake-up call. That's why I say, once again, there is so much information out there. And then we discount LGBT people's experiences that also make up the fact, because they're going through it. And we literally tell them to their face that they're lying, that they're delusional. And even though this book has been written, when did this book come out? This book came out when? Hold on, y'all. When did this book come out? it was 2012 or something. I think it was 2011, 2012. And how it's still ringing. And if you do your research, and once again, for those who want to know more about LGBT history, I do have a live on my channel called Educating the Ignorant about LGBT, because LGBT people, once again, have to provide the burden of proof. At this point, we don't have to anymore, girl. The proof is there. Now it's your turn to provide the burden of proof. The burden of proof that is still happening. And they can't do that. But that's always been the case. You've always had oppressed people who is proving that they're being oppressed. And instead of dealing with the oppression, they want to further the oppression by silencing and hushing the voices of people who are speaking about their experiences. But again, Tim is a trailblazer because he did something that a lot of people are afraid to do. And I'm happy because now there are more people who are really operating that way, who are saying, you know what, let me see for myself. And then there's an inner turmoil or inner conflict now because what I've been taught and what I'm experiencing, there's some conflicting of interest there. And now you have to make a choice. And when did making the choice to love your LGBT child a sin? Oh, we love the person, but we hate the sin. Why can't you just love? Why does hate have to be involved? Because Christ never walked in hate, he walked in love. Because love just simply means, because hate, he understood that hate simply means that it's devoid of love and all it needs is love. That's it. That's it. The love. Which is why, once again, I feel like the Bible should just be... How about this? Since the Bible, the Bible is the basic instructions before leaving Earth, girl, make the narrative of Christ the pamphlet, girl. Give them a small little pamphlet, girl, of the narrative of Christ and what Christ said, girl. Use it as the foundation. Once they master that, then give them the Bible, girl. Because the Bible right now, y'all be fixated on what Timothy said and what Luke said and John. And you can't forget about Habakkuk. And you can't forget about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And what about Peter? No. What did Christ say? Because according to the narrative, Christ said that I am the way, the truth, and the life, and that no man can reach the Father but by going through me. And the only way that you're going to go through me is by checking yourself. And a lot of us are afraid of ourselves. A lot of us don't even know who that motherfucker is. That's why it's called shadow work. That's why it's called walking through the valley of the shadow of death. Because when you do shadow work, some things about you is going to have to die. And what's dying is the false part of you. But because love is so abundant and is overflowing so much, that all the love that you require is faith the size of a mustard seed, which means that if you just allow yourself a little bit of love and focus on that little bit of love that you have within you, watch that love transform into something that is fruitful and life-giving to you. That's how miracles happen. That's how the impossible becomes possible. And that there are works of miracles that are happening every single day. It's just that, do we love ourselves enough to be able to acknowledge it? Because even me, going back to, we talked about during the little intermission part before we got to, chapter 15, how I still have a love and affinity for gospel music because it comes from the soul. It talks about healing the soul and the spirit. Music will hit people in ways that even though they have the toughest armor on and they have the most impenetrable fortress or barrier around their mind and their heart, it will pierce them. Even when people are on their last leg, they still call on God, still call on love, even when it's about to end. And if we were wise enough, we would be able to understand that they should call on them in that moment, because it just proves once again that God's source universe will never ever turn away from us. It's we that turn away from it through our guilt, through our shame, through the opinions and perspectives of others, as opposed to having a personal relationship with the source that gave you everything that you need, that is with you before you manifested into this physical reality, and with you even after you transition from this life to whatever the fuck gonna happen next. And even in the middle, this part called life, that we are still loved and covered. And even though there's a lot of death and destruction, a lot of hurt and pain in the world, there is also love. But what are you going to choose to place your energy into? Because only you get to this. Only you can prevent forest fires. Only you can decide what you think and what you feel. That is where you have total, complete, supreme, ultra control over. Is that. And baby, once you start loving yourself and people come against you, girl, yeah, you still gonna deal with your ego. And you should. Cause no shade, I don't say shit publicly, but I be talking my shit privately, girl. I'm still human. I'm just very constructive and aware with what I do, girl. That's why I don't have to read people online for real, girl, because I will smoke a damn blunt, girl, turn on some trap music, girl, and I will have a reading session with myself, girl, and read you down and get it out my spirit, so that when a motherfucker try to trigger me, girl, it ain't gonna work, girl. I already disarmed that weapon, baby. I already diluted the potency of your bullshit, girl. And on top of that, no tea, no shade, but all facts, girl. That's God's way of protecting your ass. Because if I would have said what I wanted to say, girl, you would become looking for me. And baby, I'm a leprechaun and I'm an elf. And I keep telling y'all that leprechauns and elves, baby, are mythical, magical creatures, girl. You can play with us if you want to. Get a whole gang of toddlers to come whoop your ass. No shade. But again, love is out there, y'all. Love is out there. And I'm going to do my part. And that means through my stuttering, girl, through me making up words, mushing words together, girl, mushing words together, girl. Sounding a mess, that's perfectly fine, girl. If you read the Bible, girl, Moses was a stuttering ass bitch, girl, and he was talking to the burning bush, girl. He was off that weed, girl. Leading y'all hoes. Trying to help you bitches, girl. Did y'all not forget the works that Moses did to help bring you hoes out of Egypt, girl, just for you hoes to want to go back to Egypt because you ain't know what freedom was, bitch? And the reason why Moses was probably stuttering, girl, is because if he could say what he wanted to say, girl, the Lord was like, girl, you got a slick ass mouth, girl. We're going to have to throw a wrench in that plan, girl. We're going to have your tongue Harlem shake every once in a while, girl, because if you start speaking spells on these motherfuckers, girl, it's going to be too much. I'm going to have to come take your ass out, bitch. I done gave you the staff. Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. But how did y'all feel about tonight's chapters? Did anything resonate with y'all? Y'all ain't got to give me a long one. If you do, that's fine. But I want to engage more with y'all. Like, I really want to start dropping the link soon. And again, my channel is a reaction channel, girl, because it's just easier for me to get on live, and I'm learning how to flow in the spirit and to flow freely in the present moment within myself, and going through the mistakes and the ups and downs. That's fine, girl. I'm learning. It's a part of the process. But it's not just me. Like, BubzDaGawd ain't me. The BubzDaGawd is a higher version of myself that I have, that I call myself. But it's not just me, it's us. Like, there is a higher consciousness, a higher vibratory, aware version of yourself in you. And I'm just here to ring the alarm, bitch, okay? Trang-a-lang-a-lang, trang-a-lang-a-lang. Because people are waking up. And there needs to be people aware, because I feel, in my opinion, girl, that this mass awakening is going to start happening at a much rapid rate, to where people are going to feel like they're not ready, girl. And you talking about insanity, girl? I experienced insanity when like I said, when I had my ego death off that damn edible, Mother Marijuana had to humble my ass, girl. I had to face the insanity of my mind, which means I had to face all the lower, dark, vibratory thoughts about myself that I repressed within myself came to a head, girl, to where it was right in my face, and I had no choice but to face it. Some people's minds can literally break at that moment. It could be such a sensory overload that can literally be what is described as hell. Because to me, in my interpretation, according to me, girl, hell is the realization of all of your deepest, darkest thoughts, fears, literally manifesting and coming to a head. And you gotta deal with it, girl. You can't close your eyes, you can't hide under the bed, you can't do none of that. You have to deal with it. But it was love that covered me, y'all, when I tell y'all. Love covered me to where now I'm starting to pour that love in myself to where I'm believing shit for me. Even if my ass never manifests perfect harmony, girl, I don't give a damn, bitch. I'm gonna try until I die. And if I can't do, people say 99.5 won't do, girl. 99.5 be cool for me vocally, girl. If it's that 0.1% where I'm off, girl, that's fine. Bitch, it's still an A. Goddamn. If I get to an A vocally, I'm fine. It ain't gotta be an A++. But if it does, that's fine. I'm cool with that. Even with my own insecurity, I was gonna say insecurities and quirks. See, I just put insecurities and quirks, insecurities. Girl, my mouth be just too fast, girl. Despite my insecurities and my quirks, God still love me, girl. Source still love me, girl, and I believe that. That's the most important thing. I didn't believe it for almost 30-something years. I didn't believe it. I'm 31. I spent the majority of my life giving that love to people outside of me and doing a damn good job, real damn good job. But I didn't know how to balance myself. I didn't know how to have a healthy boundary. I didn't know what love, like what a full cup of love felt for me. But now I'm learning that, so that when I do go into the world, when my season comes for me to go forth and for me to grow and for me to have visibility and to have a higher sense of awareness and what's the word I'm looking for? It's on the tip of my tongue. It's so simple, the simple ass word, girl. Influence. That I could do it in the most loving way possible. The most loving way possible. But that can be scary, y'all, because there's a lot of people in the world in positions of power who are so afraid of love, girl, they will do whatever they can to keep that shit away from them because they didn't experience it. Even though love includes them too, it's just that they're under the illusion that it does not. Which is why the hatred and the confusion and the lines of division have to be strengthened. Because if those lines ever start disappearing, girl, and we start walking in the line of humanity, girl, a lot of motherfuckers' games are going to end. And the gag is, those games are ending, whether they want them to or not, because everything comes to an end. But that doesn't have to be scary either. It also means that there is an opportunity for something beautiful and better to start. What did Fantasia say? Sometimes you gotta lose to win again. What did New Edition say? Bitch, I'm trying to find the words. I'm trying to be slick, but it's not working. On a cloudy day, on a sunny day, I know that I can count on you. Hoo-hoo. But when that's not possible, can you weather the storm? Can you weather the dark side of this? Girl, The motherfucking general from Mulan, girl, mysterious as the dark side of the moon, girl. Are you willing to face that side? Are you willing to love the other 180 of you that you hide from other people, that you keep in the shadows? Because baby, there's untapped potential and power in those areas. When I spoke earlier about me cursing my own voice, girl, and having to deal with a voice that I was never really comfortable with. I'm comfortable with that motherfucking private, girl. I can do all types of things, but when it's time to do it in public, girl, my voice becomes very soft and shy, and I be in my head, and I be trying to make choices instead of just flowing in the spirit and feeling the song. And even if I mess up, girl, that's all right, girl. I can fix it. Stop trying to chase perfection and allow perfection to be. To leave love alone and leave love be. All I gotta do is just include myself in that. And sometimes, y'all, I be gagging myself. Girl. Spicy said, what did Amber said? So I thought, girl's not my birthday, but I kind of want to find my guy friends. Because shit. Why don't you do both? Have one night be a girl's night out, and then you can do one with everybody. You know what I'm saying? That'd be dope. Like, I thought it was interesting that he said he'd hear people use homophobic slurs using himself, and it didn't faze him to someone use it on him. And that's the thing about karma. A lot of people ain't gonna like that, because that's the thing about love. Like, girl, love has a beautiful side, but it also has a tough, dark side too, girl. And sometimes people have to experience what they get. I know they say two wrongs don't make a right, girl, but in mathematical viewpoint, girl, a negative times a negative equals what? No tea, no shade. Sometimes the bully need his ass whooped to understand what the victim feel like. No shade. No shade. Now that old man in chapter 14, you wouldn't got his ass whooped physically. The baby, I'd have been cussing his ass out. I've been fucking him up verbally, bitch. I've been talking all type of shit. Don't play around, girl. I know some bitches on Bigo, girl. I will find them hoes, and they will find a way to dox your ass, girl. Say you motherfucking fucking them dogs on the low, girl. Have Peter come through and take all your shit. Okay. But y'all, thank y'all for rocking with me. I appreciate y'all. Again, the channel is growing slowly, and that's fine, girl. That's giving me more time to get my shit together. Cause baby, once my shit pop off, girl, I know I'm gonna have to be reading more books. I got all these damn spiritual books, girl. I got books on spiritual protection, girl. I'm connected to other people, having conversations with other people, girl, that know shit, girl. I'm preparing myself, girl. I'm gonna be Harriet Tubman to the shit, girl. She came and did what the fuck she did, girl, and lived a long life, girl, and had a goddamn pistol underneath her dress, wishing a nickel would. Yucca would. Okay? But yes, thank y'all for rocking with me. I appreciate y'all. As always, shout out to Queen Amber, who's always in the building. Shout out to Queen Spicy. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, girl, I'd rather be around the right motherfuckers than a lot of motherfuckers, girl. Give me the right ones. Queen Donna. Shout out to Queen Donna. I'm glad you're able to catch a live, because I know you and Miss English sometimes. You be like, I be missing it. Shout out to you. Shout out to Aries. Shout out to him. Shout out to Queen Styles by Stevie. Shout out to her. Alright. Do y'all want to know what state in school you going to? Where you going? And while she answered that, I'm going to leave y'all with our closing song. Once again, Be Slayed, a nigga powerful. I want to just smoke a blunt with that nigga too and just watch him work. Just be in the studio and be like, nigga, I'm going to ask questions every once in a while, but I just want to watch. I just want to bask in the ambiance. Basking in the ambiance. Girl. Of what it looked like to be free flowing, okay? Because Biggie Slade, that nigga is baby. Is you looking for the next Supreme, girl? Can I be the next Supreme? Cause baby, B-Slade is a vocal beast, an anomaly, girl. A creative anomaly. Nigga can act, dance, sing, can do all three at the same time. Nigga can motherfucking sing while playing the bongo and doing the heel toe at the same time. Nigga took Prince's song Purple Rain and sung the fuck out of it. Girl, he sing behind Patti LaBelle and shit. Do vocal stuff, girl. The nigga a comedian, girl. The nigga be making songs in 1 hour, girl, on live, girl. Just be, damn. All I want to do is just smoke and listen and learn and soak up the information. And maybe Universe will make that happen. I hope so. Anyway, thank y'all for coming through. I really appreciate it. And until next time, y'all. Peace. Again, leaving y'all with a B-Slade's rendition of Language of Tears. Good night.
Feeling so lonely, feeling so down when you need someone. No one's there to be found. The pain inside can't be expressed verbally, so you cry on your pillow. You don't know what you're saying, but I know an interpreter of tears. And when your voice you cry, it lends an open ear. Oh, God understands the language of tears. It knows all about all your pain and your fears when you're right and you're wrong, when your friends are gone. He's a shoulder to cry on. God understands your tears. You can't keep it bottled inside, so just let it out. In God you confide. That's what He's there for. He knows all your pain. It's alright to cry. Joy will come in the morning, but I know interpreter of your tears. When your voice will cry, there's an open ear. Oh, God understands the language of tears. He knows all about all your pains and your fears when you're right and you're wrong, when your friends are gone. He's a shoulder to cry on. God understands your tears. He understands the language of tears. Oh, the language of tears. And not crying so many tears when you're right and when you're wrong, when your friends are gone. He's a shoulder to cry on. God understands your tears. Yeah, yes. He knows all about your pain. Oh, yes, He does. He understands your tears. It's alright to cry.